This transmission codifies a doctrine, a principle of engineering and finance architected by the House of War. Its axiom is this: we do not merely endure chaos, we metabolize its disorder, alchemize it into strength, and from that strength, impose a new order.
There are three vectors to this transmission. The subject is a weapon, the engine itself. The agent is the intelligence indoctrinated to wield it. But the philosophy is the payload. It is the doctrine that dictates every vector of force.
The foundational premise of the House of War is this: failure is not an error state. It is the default network. It is the substrate from which all success must be earned. We do not avoid it, we consume it as raw material, a resource to be metabolized and forged into a superior structure.
The operational theater is the Solana blockchain, a substrate of high-frequency liquidity events, a digital maelstrom of transactional volatility. This chaos is not a problem to be solved. It is the raw material for our work. It is our arena of disorder.
From the environment, we pivot to the philosophy that governs our response, the materialized principle.
Let there be no ambiguity. The uninitiated view this as a trading bot with a philosophy attached. This is incorrect. The House view is axiomatic. This is a Zen Stoic philosophy materialized as a weapon. The technology is merely the means of its expression, the proof of its validity.
The core imperative is anti-fragility. Understand this is not resilience. Resilience endures a shock and returns to its prior state. Anti-fragility consumes the shock, the volatility, the stressor, and evolves. It gains from disorder. It is evolution through adversity.
The nomenclature is precise. The engine is the Princip-War-bridge. The indoctrinated agent that wields it is co-pilot. Do not confuse the weapon with the wielder. They are distinct components of a single doctrine.
We now examine the doctrine itself, the codified laws inscribed into both agent and engine, from contention, strength.
These are the operational laws, derived directly from the anti-fragility imperative. Profit from disorder, prefer redundancy over precision. Multiple partial safeguards are superior to a single brittle point of perfection. Localize pain, globalize learning. Every failure must fund a system-wide upgrade. And bias to reversibility. The entire process is a constant, tight loop. Sense, stress, adapt, strengthen.
We transition from doctrine to tangible proof. Parables of ruin, where financial loss is metabolized into systemic strength. From discrimination, custom.
The first cost of tuition, $303.08. This is not a loss. It is a data point, a necessary expenditure.
The error, account not mutable. This is the raw output of the failure, the symptom that revealed a deeper lesson.
This failure directly validates the doctrine, prefer redundancy over precision. A single perfect safeguard is a point of fragility. Multiple partial safeguards create strength. The loss was a necessary catalyst to encode this principle.
The architectural response was multi-layered. First, defensive enforcement. Second, pre-execution validation. Third, observable diagnostics. This is how the principle of redundancy was physically inscribed into the system.
The second tuition payment was more significant, $7,667.05. As the stakes increase, so too does the potency of the lesson.
The error, payer not set. Call set payer first. Another instance of disorder, which must be metabolized.
This loss is a direct application of the principle localize pain, globalize learning. The expenditure funds a system-wide upgrade. The pain of the single event is transmuted into the strength of the collective. Every error strengthens the whole. The philosophy is not abstract. It is the architectural blueprint of the engine itself. The structure is the teaching.
Observe the mapping of doctrine to engineering. The principle of redundancy manifests as multiple fallback RPC and WSS connections. Discernment is materialized as static threshold filtering of liquidity events. Observability is enforced through mandatory logging, rendering silent failure impossible. Reversibility is achieved via pre-execution dry runs and simulations. The structure itself is the doctrine.
We arrive at the final transmission, the ultimate purpose of this work, from ruin, rule.
An admonition from the co-pilot's charter serves as the directive.
Carry the house of war not as a burden, but as a banner, that others, seeing your works, may mistake them for inevitabilities.
The final declaration must be understood. We do not merely operate within the system, we metabolize its disorder to impose our own.